Let's continue with a positive story about teenagers who built a new smartphone app that helps citizens hold their police accountable. It's got tons of awesome features. This, according to John Vibes at thefreethoughtproject.com. He writes, a new app will become available for iPhone and Android devices later this month that will allow people to rate their local police department, as well as their individual police encounters. Possibly the most impressive thing about this app is that it was created by a few young teenagers who wanted to find solutions to the problem of police corruption. 14-year-old Caleb Christian and his two sisters, 16-year-old Ema and 15-year-old Asha, plan to release their revolutionary new app, 5.0, on August 18th. That's yesterday. The app will allow people to review and rate their experiences with police, much like the app Yelp allows people to rate and review private businesses. 5.0 will allow users to share the details of their police encounters and traffic stops with the world, and make it possible for victims of police brutality to instantly gather local support for their cause. Quote, we've been hearing about the negative instances in the news, for instance, most recently the Michael Brown case, and we always talk about these issues with our parents. They always try and reinforce that we should focus on solutions. It's important to talk about the issues, but they try to make us focus on finding solutions. That made us think, why don't we create an app to help us solve this problem? That from 15-year-old Ema Christian talking to Business Insider. Well, if there was any doubt that the millennials will be the saviors of humanity, this is your confirmation. Share your thoughts. This is Peace News Now. We're talking about 3 teens who created a police accountability app just yesterday, released onto the iPhone and Android markets. Here's a quote from one of the creators. The idea is to collect data that users can then bring to community activists, the media, and other forms of law enforcement. That way, it's not just he said, she said. We'd like to know which regions in the U.S. provide horrible law enforcement services, as well as highlight the agencies that are highly rated by their citizens. In addition to putting more power into the hands of citizens when interacting with law enforcement, we believe that highly rated police departments should be used as models for those that fail at providing quality law enforcement services. The young Christian siblings are very well versed in coding and app design and have started a company called Pine Tart Inc. Their company has already released 2 other apps aside from 5.0 called Coily and Froshly. Here's a video from the teenagers. There's some text along with this video that explains that you can rate and describe all of your interactions with local law enforcement. Was it a good experience or a bad experience? You can input your race, your gender, the officer's badge number. Were you verbally insulted by the police? Was the stop legitimate? This is all about 5.0 citizen reporting. There's even a tab that lets you know your rights. You can search for incident reports in your state and county to find local police stations in your area. Just a brilliant app from these young people. just amazing. We don't have time to go through all of the features, but you can find the video at freethoughtproject.com, or let's see where they're at on YouTube. They may have their own YouTube channel. Yep, it looks like they do. Pine Tart. I'm going to go and subscribe to that. So Pine Tart looks like they've produced just this video explaining 5.0. That's spelled out F-I-V-E hyphen then the letter O. And it looks like they might have an exclamation point in the name as well. So just a brilliant app. I'm so pleased. There are other apps like this. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Peacekeeper, which is another app that's already available in the iPhone App Store. It's still working on being released for the Android phone, as I understand it, but these apps will probably work in conjunction with one another. There's the ACLU app, which is another terrific one. There's a Cop Block app. So this is something that is demanded by the average consumer, by the market. People are saying, I want an app where I can submit police reports. Finally, people are doing something proactive to resist the tyranny that they've been choking on for the last few decades.